1994 was out of this world, and not just because of the launch and landing of United States Space Shuttle STS-60. This month was a month filled with wild celebrity behavior, a multitude of unfortunate worldwide tragedy, and no shortage of world record-breaking during the Winter Olympics. February 1994 brought life to current celebrities Harry Styles of the British boy band One Direction, and Dakota Fanning, who made waves in movie theaters across the world during her childhood in the early 20s. Celine Dion owned the charts with The Power of Love, which topped Billboard for 4 straight weeks. Meanwhile, on the silver screen, all eyes were on Jim Carrey as Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, debuting at over $12 million opening weekend and consistently bringing in over $6 million each weekend after during the month of February. But Jim and Celine weren't the only celebrities making headlines. Jack Nicholson was charged with a misdemeanor for vandalism and assault when he took a golf club to the windshield of a vehicle he believed cut him off in Los Angeles traffic. Definitely not one of those few good men. While Nicholson faced those charges, Motley Crue drummer Tommy Lee was charged with possession of a loaded firearm. Sounds like Nicholson and Tommy Lee would make quite the Motley Crue themselves. Jeff Gillooly, ex-husband to figure skater Tonya Harding, pled guilty on February 1st, 1994, to racketeering charges on a plea deal to avoid major jail time for the assault on Tonya's skating opponent Nancy Kerrigan. This plea deal was important because Gillooly's plea meant that Harding could no longer deny the allegations brought against her. A guilty charge was inevitable for Tonya. February 1994 wasn't all crimes and drama, though. The Winter Olympics began February 12, 1994, coincidentally the day yours truly was born, and ended on February 27th. The youngest participant of the games was 13 years old, and the oldest was 46 years old. In total, 1,737 athletes partook in the games, which took place in Norway. Nancy Kerrigan defied the odds and the intentions of her attacker and ended up bringing the silver medal home in figure skating. Plenty of records at the time were broken during these Winter Games. Johan Olof Koss of Norway broke 3 separate speed skating records for distances of 5,000 meters, 1,500 meters, and 10,000 kilometers. 10 kilometers, not 10,000 kilometers, just 10. Other speed skating records were set by Alexander Golubev and Dan Jensen. Perhaps the most beautiful moment of the Games was when the Bosnian and Herzegovinian bobsled team participated. The Olympics happened during the Bosnian War that brutally ripped through parts of Eastern Europe. This team, however, consisted of a Bosnian, a Serb, and 2 Croatians, who at the time were sworn enemies of this particular war. Along with great Olympic triumphs in February of 1994, there was also incredible worldwide tragedy. The Bosnian War was in full swing on February 5th, but hope was still on the horizon. Bosnian, Serb, Muslim, and Croatian leaders were meeting to discuss a peaceful future. But as they were meeting, a mortar bomb was detonated in the main market square of Sarajevo. In an instant, 68 people died and 200 people were injured. It was suspected that the bomb was detonated by the Serbs, but this information was never proven as fact. The Bosnian War would continue for almost a year more. On February 16th, a 7.2 magnitude earthquake that was originally thought to be a 6.5 earthquake shook the island of Sumatra, killing 134 people and injuring 500 more. The earthquake was so large that aftershocks were felt as far as Jakarta. Along with geological phenomena came wonders from space as well. In the beginning of the month, a meteorite landed in the Pacific Ocean, around 300 kilometers south of Micronesia. The impact of the meteorite was observed by infrared sensors set in space in place by the United States Department of Defense. Space-based wavelength sensors that are operated by the Department of Energy were also able to detect the amount of energy that the meteorite put off. Those sensors detected energy that was measured with the equation 1.3 times 10 to the 13th power joules, which is a number so out of this world, I can't even tell you what that number is, but just think zillions. 2 men were able to witness this incredible event and said they were able to see what looked like a fireball falling from the sky while they were off fishing. Talk about a good catch. February 1994 was an extremely eventful month. There were events that made people scratch their head in confusion, events that made many shed a tear due to loss of innocent life, and events that brought people together while war and natural disasters were determined to tear everything apart. If the month I was born in taught us anything, it's that there's always something to look forward to. Whether it's witnessing your country's star athlete take home the gold, or watching a ball of flame beautifully enter our atmosphere, beauty is all around us. I think that this time period is a great example of what perseverance looks like, and what putting our differences aside can look like, even when we are all hurt beyond belief. I'm definitely proud of the month and year that I was born.